Not a bad throw down here for Beth Cole from England. You can see that they're nervous throws. In the throw, these young wool handlers are getting judged, well actually all of them through the grades will be judged on how flat and straight that fleece lands on that table. It's a big component of the penalties that they'll attract, so it's a big deal.
So these wool handlers, once the shearer pulls the cord, Mavis, they have 1 minute and 40 seconds to process that fleece, clean up the board. Wow, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough for these novices, I think.
1 minute 40, it's a good time. It's a good time for them. It's ensuring that they don't muck around. It's being as efficient as you can. You can see that Laura Bradley has started the roll, so has Ellery. These young women have been in the sheds for a little while, probably not on the table.
Anyone?
They've graduated from the shearing board onto the wool handling stand, so that's pretty cool. But the first off the table is young Beth down here on stand number 4.
We got the broom in hand. We got young Sylvia here on table number 1. Come on, Sylvia. She's a little bit highly strung by the looks of things. I think they were doing about 150 kilometres to get here this morning.
Tom, I'll just come in. Amy Bell, could you report in, please? Amy Bell.
Or can you hear me?
Thanks, Tom.
But here we go. Final cleanups here on table 1.
Ah, well done.
Well done.
Hi. You hear
Come
me?
on, wool handlers. This is about time, efficiency and speed now, so come on, let's get this
weird.
moving.
Yeah.
Laura Bradley, I think she's been shearing too many sheep and forgotten how to wool handle. Here she goes. Little tidy up. She's shaking all the locks out. She puts her hand up, Mavis. Well done to these wool handlers. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first heat of the novice.
Talk? Yep. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, Tim, while we wait for the
Can
next
you hear me?
group to come up. Sorry, Nikki.
But it's not really coming through here.
You're good.
It is.
Next
It's coming
heat,
through. I can
Valerie
hear you
Noss,
through my earphones.
Valeria Noss, Stephanie Campbell, Emma Hicker, and Heather
he'll call us in
McCartney.
for
Once
live.
those bins are removed, you can take a second up to help you.
Do you want to put that-
and also
put that
to
screen up
clean
first,
your
Toby?
station as well once you're finished. Thank you.
Hey,
doesn't
Tuma,
really feel
while
like
we're
it's
just
coming through the
waiting,
headphones, though.
we've got
It
the
is
wool
coming
grower
through the
here.
headphones.
Oh, heck, he just gave me a whack.
No.
But look, thank you.
Yeah, well,
it's not
I hear
easy
him like
to
I'm
have
hearing
full
you.
wool this time of year
You and
in
I
the
are
kind
working.
of condition
Right.
they're in.
I'm sure I
we're
can
really
hear you.
appreciative of that.
Okay, that next heat, please
I better
hop
turn my
up.
hearing aid up.
Valeria Nouse, Stephanie Campbell, Emma Hicker, and Heather McCartney. Up you go, guys. Oh, shucks.
No.
1 is Valeria on 1. Stephanie next door, 2. Emma, 3. Heather McCartney, 4.
No.
The way they're called, Tom.
Oh, there.
I know you novice, but it is good if you can be
Just
ready
whisper.
for your heat because we have to, your bins are in your bags, we have to keep this rolling. So set your bins up.
Well, can you hear me?
If you've got a friend, you can have a second to help you.
Go on.
Someone can hop up there and help you if you have any friends. Heat 3, Maya Parama,
You're not needed
Kristen
anywhere at the moment?
Pedersen,
You all right?
Jack Hurst, and Amy Bell. Could you 4 please report to me, please? We just need to identify you so that we know that you're ready.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Nuki. When
Right.
you're getting up to compete, take what
looking
we
at the
call a
camera.
second with you. And that
Dan,
person
looking
can
at
get
the
up there
camera.
and
Yep.
slip your
Okay.
board down while you do your baskets. Okay, novices, so take a second up with
Toby,
you.
who-
Could
who-
be your
who's
auntie,
bringing this
your
whited
uncle.
up a TV
Nuki
and-
will even get up there if you need him to. Come and sweep your board down.
Noise
I'm not
works?
sure if any of you novices know what
Noise
happens really,
Productions?
but if your board is not clean before you start, you get penalised on the wool that's left behind.
You hear me?
I think the other thing is,
I wouldn't say it was loud.
for
No,
these new
but
wool
I can hear
handlers,
you.
be as quick as you can in between setting up. We've got a big program today,
we're
so
opening.
you've been given a bit of the luxury of some extra time. I know that
Okay,
as
Tom,
we go
let's get
in,
them
they'll
going.
get going.
Please.
Okay,
Jack
moving the
Hurst, can
shearers
you
to the
report,
board.
please?
Well, good morning, folks out there in the World Wide Web. Welcome to the mighty Wairarapa, here at the home of the Golden Shears, and for the year 2019, and we welcome you wherever you may be. May you have a enjoyable viewing of the 2019 Golden Shears. It is our pleasure this morning, folks, to bring into the studio our new president, Mr. Sam Saunders, and he's sitting here apprehensive, but I think he's okay. Welcome along, Sam, and congratulations on your appointment as the new president of the Golden Shears.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a new challenge, and looking forward to it.
Sam, there's a couple of things that we probably should touch on, and in the past years, and we've had a president that was there for a number of years. So, would you like to acknowledge Phil and Anna?
Well, Philip, he's been terrific behind the scenes and still is. And I'd like to acknowledge Philip and Anna for their hard work and continued enthusiasm towards Golden Shears and the shearing industry in general, really.
Great, great. Well, we've got a huge team behind the Golden Shears every year. We had a little bit of rain last night, so that's put a little bit of pressure on the sheep suppliers, keeping the sheep
heard it
dry.
He gets the house.
It's a good lot of rain. Well, we need the rain anyway. But you've got people that supply sheep and have done for a long time, haven't you?
Yes. We've had a few sheep changes this year, but you can't run a shears without sheep. And I've had 2 or 3 people actually approach me asking if we wanted to use their sheep, and I think that's terrific.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, that just sings the praises of the Golden Shears, and 59 years this year.
Yes.
I think you might have been a young fella when it first started, wouldn't you?
I remember driving past with my parents and seeing all the big queues outside.
Yeah, oh, well, that's great. Well, we come to next year. We're going to celebrate 60 years of Golden Shears, and you got anything in the pipeline?
Oh, we've got a few ideas up our sleeve. We've got a committee already formed. We'll have at least an extra half day, maybe a little bit longer. And we're going to try and acknowledge the people that have been helping us over those 60 years, and really have a good celebration.
It's worthwhile.
There's not a lot of organisations that actually last 60 years with volunteers.
Totally volunteered, aren't they?
Yeah, well, our secretary, apart from our secretary, everyone else is volunteers.
So you've got sheep suppliers. So on Saturday, when the Golden Shears 19 finishes, they kick in for celebrate the 60th year. So people will already start working towards next year.
We're already thinking that way.
Wow, well, that's probably the key to the Golden Shears. You never stop thinking. Well, in the last little while, we've had some passings. We've had some very good people pass away, and we'd like to acknowledge them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've had one of our past presidents, Darryl Hart, passed away recently, and he gave it a good fight right to the end.
Yes.
And so we're all thinking of him in this time. And also Dave McPherson, or Big Dave, Harry Mac, went under a lot of different names, and he was involved for 56 years over the Shears, and he's the reason I got involved.
Wow.
He got me in to help with the pressing, about 71, I think, and I helped him pressing there for a number of years. And also last week, one of our shearing judges, Missy Tudavaha, he passed away, and Missy, he wasn't on the committee, but he was a judge at the Shears here for 10 years, and he was a real character, and a very good judge, and a real character in the shearing community.
Well, there you go, folks. We'd like to acknowledge those gentlemen that have passed away in the last year, and anyone else that has family that has passed away. Aroha mai kia rātou, haere, haere, haere atura. Oh, well, we now talk to sponsors, and let's have a little bit of word about our sponsors.
Well, no show can run without sponsors, and we're very lucky. We've got some very good sponsors this year. Bailey's, Lister, PGG, and Trust House, our local Trust House, is a very strong backer, and we also have a new major sponsor, Paddy Mason, which is a local family.
I see that.
And-
Golly me, is it?
And Paddy's he's lifted to the occasion, and his grandmother, Hinarau, will be really proud because Hinarau was one of the early wool handlers on stand 1, and she organised all the wool handlers, so I'd say it's a proud moment for them.
I see in some publications, and Doug Lang's written a bit about it, she used to be on stand 1, didn't she?
That was her stand.
Was she a grumpy old thing?
Yeah, she was tough.
Oh, well, she keeps everybody in line.
Yeah.
So the cup is named, the winner of the Open Wool Handling gets that trophy, which is named after her. Is the cup name, is it a Hinarau Mason trophy?
It must be. It'll be after
and
her.
$3,000 for the
It'll be after her, yeah.
$3,000 for the Open Wool Handling champion?
I have to look at the program.
Something like that?
Yeah.
That is amazing, folks. The prize money is just going through the roof, and we don't know where it's going to end because the Open Shearers, that's Bailey's this year again.
Yes, yep.
And they've put in a tremendous amount of money. So, however, large or small, if you're a sponsor, we thank you very much.
Yeah, and I think this is, I think this year we have every event sponsored,
Great.
which it doesn't always happen.
I've heard whispers, and they're probably true, that we're going to have some politicians visiting the Golden Shears this year.
Yeah, so I hear.
Simon Bridges, I understand
Yeah.
that he's bringing his family, the National Party,
Yes,
and
yep.
and of course Labor won't be too far away.
But we always welcome any of the politicians to come and see how we work and to try and get a feel for the industry because they don't have industry knowledge that we all have.
I have to back you up on that one, Sam, because I just think that the current trend of this government is they're not really connecting with agriculture. Do you get the feeling?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are, and one of our aims and my aim is to try and get a bit of acknowledgement into our wool industry as well, because although we're a shearing and wool handling competition, our crossbred wool prices are very poor at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's part of my aim is to try and highlight that. And I know worldwide there's a bit of an anti-plastic, anti-fiberglass thing going on at the moment. And I live in hope that around the corner our crossbred prices will lift.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Well, the Golden Shears originally was set up to further your skills, upskill yourself. We've got the wool handling just getting underway, the novice wool handlers, and this is something that we've really tried to nurture and the skills required because we still got to look after this beautiful fibre and product, don't we, Sam?
Oh, it's a terrific fibre, and it's natural, it's green, and can be used for so many things. And when we look at the prices that our merino wool gets, our crossbred wool should be,
not too far behind.
Not too far behind.
Well, folks out there in the World Wide Web, we've kicked off the 2019 Golden Shears from the Masterton War Memorial Stadium. If you're not too far away, you've got to take it in. We finished the night on Saturday night with the Open Wool Handling, Open Final, and of course that keenly contested Australia-New Zealand Test. Who's going to win that this year, Sam? Because we've been struggling, haven't we?
Oh, there's only about one or two between the two teams, one or two differences.
They've been thrashing us over here.
Well, they've learnt to shear crossbreds.
Workers.
That's the biggest thing. They've learnt to shear crossbreds.
Yeah, I know they're going to be hard, but look, we've got the best team up at the moment. We should bowl them this year.
And Shannon Warnest, who's been here for the last 21 years, I think.
Thank goodness he's gone.
He'll be watching this.
The bugger, he's too good.
Yeah, he's just been fishing up at Waihau Bay.
Oh, yeah, well, he's been in the team a long time, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to cross back to the stadium, folks, and on behalf of Wairarapa TV and Noise Productions, we're going to be bringing you live streaming for the 2019 Golden Shears. And if you want to log on or text your friends, it is the www.goldenshears, and that'll get you into the live streaming. So, Sam, is there anything else you'd like to cap off? Because we want you to come back in on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening.
Whenever.
We'll just bring you in.
Yep.
What's it like being the boss now?
I'll tell you on Saturday.
Thank you very much, Sam. Well
you.
done. Thank you, Toby. Back to you.
Around it as quickly as she can.
I just said if he's got any problem.
Okay, so young Maya, she just skirted one side. She's up around the top, and up around the top of the table, you usually have the neck wool. If the fleece is thrown correctly, you will have your neck at the top. And then she'll start working her way down the other side. She'll skirt the front leg, and then she'll finish on the back leg. Young Kristen there on table number 2. Looks like she's ready to roll up. 1 minute and 40 seconds is the seal time these wool handlers have. And then after that, they start suffering very severe penalties, time penalties. But Kristen's got her fleece in the fadge, runs back to the board. She's going to be fairly close. A nice, tight, compact roll here on table number 1, Mavis.
Yep, and a damn good roll happening down here on number 4 too. Amy's had some good teachers, obviously. Same with Jack. He's moving around now, and this is where it really starts to count. Your time counts. Meanwhile, they've got to make sure that everything's in the right baskets. You know, this isn't a cakewalk doing this stuff. This is really smart thinking.
It is super smart, and just looking at this young lady on table number 1 who clean up, it's immaculate. She's really got it going on. Kristen's not too bad. Our wool handler on table number 3, the young gun, he looks like he's going all right too, Mavis.
Yep, he probably forgot that bit up on the board, but he's got it in the end. But they do need to get their time thing going. Come on, guys.
All right, I'll just put in there. Thanks, Mavis. Okay, can we have our presses up, please? We've got Mark Taylor on press 1 and Ricky Stevens on 2. We're looking at a weight of 160 kgs. Let's get this game started. Bit more colour in this wool, so there's going to be a bit more weight in it, of course. But the presses, you guys are the experts, so you'll work all that out. So please make your way up, thank you. Come on, we've got to get this show going. We've got a lot to get through today, as every day. Mark Taylor, please, from Cheviot. Ricky Stevens from Napier.
Okay, next heat of the novice wool handling, Robin Close on 1, Shania Hemmer on 2, Christelle Sligo on 3, and Shante Walker on 4. Heat 5, could you please report to the announcers desk so I know you're here? Jade Reddy, Kayla Douglas, Katie Cockrell, and Adam Gordon.
Can I have the information that comes to me, you'll have the distance that it's going to be, because it's going.
So,
You're going to go, mate. All right.
Great to see so many novices. Great to see so many novices. And for those experienced people in the industry that are here today, bring these newbies along. This is what adds a bit of spice to life, actually. This is where the fun hits the road.
All right, thanks, Mavis. Rightio, we're just about ready to go. Presses, just remember, and this is a judging point, all you pressers listening in eyes this way, please. The press must be left the way you found it, okay? So nice and clean, take note how the press is before you start. That's how it may be when you finish, okay, for your next competitor. Otherwise, you'll know the standard rules of safety and the likes. In that case, once again, thank you to New Zealand Wool Packs and Farmlands, our long-serving sponsors of this pressing. Judges are ready. Are you right, Ricky? Mark, you good?
Okay,
good to go.
Shearers to the board.
Yep.
Way go, Gerald. You start up.
Thank you, Nuna. And on your marks, get set, go. Right, we're underway. Thanks, Suma.
Thank you, Gerald. Okay, can we have our shearers to the board? Shearers to the board. Paewai Mullins are the sponsor of the novice event. This is the novice class, if you've just tuned in. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go.
Thanks, Tuma. Hey, and so they're just going to work here. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, Ricky was in the big final last year, which is brilliant. And I'd like to welcome aboard Kerry Irvine. He's commentating here this year. He's a new member to the commentary team, all the way from the Nelson area. So, Kerry, welcome to the Golden Shears, the bright lights and glitz and glamour. And here you are on the morning to get started on the pressing. So I'll let you get yourself all going and the like. So otherwise, a big welcome to you.
Yeah, thanks, Gerald. It's obviously my first time at the Golden Shears, and I always thought I'd be shearing, but I had to give up the old shearing through to a back injury, but took up the commentating for something different. So.
Jade Reri, can you report into the microphone desk, please? And shearers, if you are in the crowd, you are not to put your dirty handpieces on the seats. Okay, shearers, you're not to put your handpieces on the seats. Seats are for bums only. But anyway, back to the wool handling Mavis, and we've got another good lineup. We've got an international down here on table number 1. Robin Kruse from Germany. There seems to be a few Germans here this year. I see we've got another young lady. She'll be shearing a little bit later on. Table number 2, we have Shania Hemmer from good old Takabo.
Crystal Sligo there from Coromandel. She's actually at Waipawa as well, up the east coast, and had a pretty cool career so far in the primary sector. She's a trainer. She helps write resources for training. So she's a bit of an all-rounder. And down the end here we have Shonto from Bulls, Shonto Walker. Hey, but Kerry, welcome to Golden Shears, the new commentator in the pressing. Great to have you here with our old mate Gerald Spain.
Throws hitting the table, a little bit of stop, pause, release. Oh, we've got a lovely throw here from the young German lass Mavis.
That's a brilliant throw. You can see the difference from those who really do that preparation.
Gerald.
Yeah, thanks, Tuma. Yeah, plenty of action down here. We've got the massive arm span of Mark Taylor, who's come all the way from Cheviot. Here he is under the bright lights, in for another big handful. Of course, looking for this 160 kg mark. If the bale's too heavy, they lose points. If it's too light, they lose greater points because they haven't had to work so hard to bring the bale down, of course. So, Kerry, of course, there is lots of safety issues here too. Of course, health and safety really big in all businesses now. Quite interesting to study those dynamics. But the winding up of these presses and the boxes and the likes, all these things have been judged right now by these expert judges to make sure all those things are kept right as well.
Yeah, well, these guys know this. They work with these presses day in, day out. They have a good understanding, so we won't expect these guys to lose too many points. We've seen a bit of a different style here. On stand 1, he started with the top box, filling up before he put the fadge in. It's, these guys obviously have their own techniques, and they do that in the shed as well.
We're just on the last few seconds of this novice heat. They've done really well. Just getting that last, yes, well done, Robin from Germany, first with her hand up. Come on, ladies, get going. Well done, Shana.
All right, back to the pressing here. So Ricky's in for another armful. How do they know there's going to be roughly 160? Well, as Kerry said, they spend a lot of time pressing. Some of these presses up here will be part of the triathlon. Okay, that's where they're involved in the pressing, wool handling and the shearing. Okay, and the lowest points will be announced later on in the as the days unfold.
Okay, could the next heat please hop up? Jade Reddy, Kayla Douglas, Katie Cockrell and Adam Gordon, please.
Okay, we have a Holden Viva out the front, JE5659, JES659.
Right, we've got the lid going on over here, Kerry. Ricky says that's okay. You notice the lid's nice and low there, and probably a wee bit lighter for the big wind-up, of course, which is part of the health and safety issues. Time points belonging to Ricky at the moment. We're going to have the big wind-up soon.
I'll just come in there, Gerald. Heat 6 of the novice wool handling, Fran Neal, Numa Garcia, Veronica Baina, and Audrey Rahui, Little John. Could you report to the announcer's desk, please? We just got to make sure that you're here and ready. Thanks.
Right, so Mark Taylor, stumping those corners. It looks nice and tight. He's got a big, strong frame himself of probably a good 95 Ks, and he's stuffing that wool in there. And at this stage, it's not budging. Very sapping work, this pressing wool. Okay, if you've ever run up a sand dune, okay, where it gives way under your feet all the time, very similar to here. It sucks the energy out of you. So you've got to be fit to be doing this job. But as Kerry mentioned before, this is what they do. Very important job in the shed, Kerry, of course. The presser has more to do than just the presser. Some of the other jobs are the, penning up.
Yeah, well, I've always thought the pressers are a pretty unsung hero in the shed. They probably work almost harder than the shearers on some of those big sheds. 7, 8 stands, 1 press. It's a pretty full-on job.
Yeah, it is that, all right. And they make the shed run, of course, and they do have that sheepo.
Toma, shearers on the board.
We've just got a bit of problems with our timing gear, Nuki. We're just sorting out timing gear. Ian Hopkirk is on the job. Gerald, we'll stick with you with the pressing for a couple more minutes.
Thanks, Tuma. And the other job that these pressers do is they actually cook the food under a contract system. Open sheds, that's where the wife or will supply the food. Under a contract system, the contractor brings all the food, and these pressers, that's part of their system of boiling the kettle and, cooking the frying pan, all these sorts of things. In between that, they've got to press the wool. In between that, they've got to do the sheepo, okay? That's diving out the back with the big hunterway and getting all the sheep filled up, all the pens full for the shearers. And they like a real full pen, okay? They don't want half a pen. In between times, you make sure you don't burn the lunch. So there's all these things going on around the place. We've got the crank down here, Kerry. Look at this man go. Just remind you, he was in the final last year, mate.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of power in the young fella on one here. He's these boys, some sheds they get lucky, they get a hydraulic press, but this is more of an older style. It keeps the presses pretty honest.
Yeah, it does that, all right. And of course the bale mark, there's reasons for that. We don't want bales that are overweight where you get docked at the wool store or the farmer gets docked at the wool store. Okay, and we don't want them just soft old bales, because when they go on the truck off to the wool store, the farmer gets charged per bale. Okay, it's an extra cost. So it's another responsibility that these wool pressers have. And of course, the more wool packs you use, the more cost to the farmer. So once again, they're adding value to the farmer, the grower.
Okay, looks like we're good to go down here, Gerald. Thank you very much. Timekeeper is now ready. Shearers, get set, go. Okay, in this novice heat, Paewai Mullins are the sponsor. We have Jade Reddy here on table number 1. Her father's down here. I think he's more nervous than she is, but that's just how it rolls. On table number 2, we have Kayla Douglas. She's from a real upbeat town called Danny Vegas.
And her stepdad's probably just as nervous too. Just saying. Katie Cockrell from England. So Katie's been around for a little while. She's lovely to have her here, and this is a first time for her, I think, in New Zealand. So great experience for them. And then down the end, Adam Gordon. Well, this is the famous Masterton whānau. Apparently Adam did very well yesterday out at pre-shears. So he's here to finish the job off for this week.
I'll just hop in there, guys. Could the Spanish competitors Numa Garcia and Veronica Bagner please report to the announcers desk, please? Sorry, back to you guys.
Okay, shearers are just dropping into the long blow, shearing along nicely, guys. This is the novice class. These young wool handlers around the back of the shearer, they'll just be sweeping, trying to keep the board absolutely spotless. We got Katie there from England on table number 3. She's got the long broom out, working away behind the shearer. Has a bit of a look up there. You're supposed to grab the cheek wool, Katie, when it falls off. But that's okay. It's good to see her up here having a go. She's been holidaying up in the good old Tauranga up in the Milk and Honey district. Kayla Douglas. All these wool handlers now, they'll start setting up the fleece. They want it to land flat. So they'll be setting it up nice and flat, starting to pull it into themselves, Mavis. So when they throw it, it should come down like a feather.
That's right, and there's a bit of variation with these fleeces. Some are holding together really well, some are really loose. And for these young ones, you know, it's sometimes they don't have the full experience, but by gosh, these fleeces don't look too bad actually, Toma.
No, you're dead right. I think a lovely throw down here on table 1. This young Jade Eddy, little wee bit overhanging. Anything the size of an A4 sheet of paper, ladies and gentlemen, overhanging is 1 point. So not a lot of points left, you know, that she would have lost overhanging. And any bunching on the table the size of an A4 sheet of paper is 1 point as well. So we've got Kayla there. She's working her way around the top looking for something that's not there. Keep moving, Kayla. We got Katie there on table number 3. Roll-up time for her. She hasn't been in the sheds for 3 weeks. She's been drinking pina coladas on the Tauranga beach, but you wouldn't think so because she's rolled up her fleece. Kayla Douglas needs to move. We got young Adam Gordon down there, table number 4. That's a nice, good, tight, compact roll, Mavis.
It's a great roll. He knows how to do this stuff. It's also about ensuring all of your work areas clean. If you look on that top board, we've got lovely clean board up there, and now they've got to make down the bottom, on top and under their table, look exactly the same.
I'll just interrupt you, Mavis. Can we get the 2 Spanish lasses? Is it Numia and Veronica? Can we get you guys to report to the microphone desk? Back to you, Mavis.
Yep, well, they're just finishing off here, and I notice that it'll probably work well. We can get this heat finished with speed. Hey, there's Adam. There's Jade. Well done, competitors. Why don't we go back to you to finish off up where you are, Gerald? Or Kerry?
Yeah, back to the pressing, ladies and gentlemen, and we see stand 1. He's out with the clips and starting to clip up that bale. These guys, once again, very mindful of the health and safety regulations that they have to work by. These judges, every little slip up these pressers make, they'll get points deducted from their tally. And
okay, next heat of the wool handling, if you could hop up there, please. And this is heat 6. Heat 7, Emma Lewis, Willow Cottle, Elmer Baker and Michael Buick. Could you report to the announcer's desk? You're after this heat, please.
Okay, so while these next heat of wool handlers get themselves organised, Fran, where's your man Craig? He should be up here sweeping your board for you. I think you need another one.
Okay, so while these
Hey, heat 2 here will be Stuart Walton. You'll be on 1, a local man from Masterton. And Jimmy Samuels, our smiling assassin, will be on press number 2 here. In between times, though, right now we've got bale number 1 out on press 2. Ricky Stevens has a bit of a hit of it, says is that 160 kgs in weight. We're going to know in a moment. He's wrapped up. Give him a round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. One of your finalists here last year, Ricky Stevens. But this is no different than a big rugby game. You're only as good as your last game, so there's no resting on your laurels or your reputation when it comes to the Golden Shears. Okay, they don't give away these ribbons and accolades lightly. Well, the scales will tell us soon how we're going for the 160 kgs. It looked a heavy bale to me, Kerry, when he got down to that one click. So, we still had a foot to go, didn't we?
Okay, we got our shearers, we got the green light. Can we have our shearers to the board? I don't know how you say hurry up in Spanish. In the Māori, we say kia tere.
Elmer Baker, could you report to the announcer's desk, please? Elmer Baker from Featherston.
Okay, so our shearers are good to go. Wool handlers, you should be ready. Don't worry about talking to the judges. They're distracting you. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, on your marks, get set, go. Okay, so if you're competing in the next heat, get yourself ready and get a friend to come up and sweep the board for you. So all you need to do is get up and set your baskets and get in the zone. But here on table number 1, we have a young lass called Fran Neal. She is from England. She's been working around Dannevirke for the last 2 or 3 months, and she's had a heck of a good time. And we've got a couple of young Spanish ladies here on tables 2 and 3. They're a very colourful lot, the Spanish. How do you say hurry up in Spanish?
Vamos, vamos.
Vamos, vamos. Okay, so that's what these young wool handlers will need to do. Vamos, vamos. And down there on table 4, Mavis, we have another Dannevirke lass.
We do. Audrey, Dahui Little John down here. Again, another first timer, and yes to our internationals, to our Spanish competitors. Hola, welcome, no mahara mai. Great to see you here. And for our viewers, we've got the World Championships happening this year, later in July, in Nadorat, France. So, of course, these internationals are getting as much experience globally as they can before that date, hoping that, first of all, they qualify to represent their country then. So, it's great to have them here. Opens our experiences as well.
Could we have the junior wool handling competitors report in, please? The junior wool handling competitors, if you'd like to report in now.
Setting up of those fleeces, they only have one fleece in which to show their stuff. So they got to do it well, do it right. Setting it up, round they go.
Oh, we got a little bit of a bunching here on table 1 from Fran, but she's a tall young lass. She'll be able to sort that out. Not a bad throw on 2, 3, Mavis. Looks like a beauty.
It's a good throw, but hanging over on the side, but at least it's all in the right place, and it's going to be easy for Veronica to find those processing faults. Round the table they're going. Look, they're really, it might look like they're not going that fast, but I can promise you that when you're up there doing this stuff, it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour. I've just been reminded by Rose Puha that for those in the North Island circuit, please make sure you get over here. She's over here on this side of the stadium to get your entries in and paid for. But back to these competitors.
Vamos, vamos. That's the hurry up in Spanish. Come on, you Spanish lasses, because this young English lass on table number 1, she's going to take you to the cleaners. Young Fran, roll up time for her. I see her boyfriend he's run away. He's scared as well. Here we go. Come on, Fran, grab that broom. Time to sweep the floor. 1 minute and 40 seconds, Mavis, is the seal time. So these wool handlers, they need to get moving.
They do need to get moving, and they're not doing too bad. Audrey down the end here, she's got herself reasonably organised. As we said before, every little bit of wool that's left on your work area, the size of a credit card when you've finished, is going to cost you at least 1 point per credit card size. So, it doesn't take much for that to add up.
I think this is one of the only times I've seen from Fran move and not drop her broom. She's going very, very well this morning. Come on, Fran, keep it going. We've got the Spanish lasses though. There we go, time for Fran. We've got the young Spanish ladies, they're nearly done as well. I think one is done, yes. The young Dannyvert girl, Mavis, she's not too far away as well. She's looking around, just making sure the job is right before you put your hand up. We've seen a few people put their hands up this morning, look around and they say, far out.
And the thing is, when you're up there, it's easy to forget.
Okay, thanks, Novice. Right, we've got one bale ready for the scales here. In fact, the heavyweights are arriving. Now, this bale is Ricky Stevens. Once again, we're going for the 160. Okay, time points for over here, and Mark Taylor from Chevet hasn't quite done the finishing touches yet. He's nice tidy bale though. The time points is 1 point every 20 seconds. However, there's a...
Can we have Heat 7, Emma Lewis, Willow Cottle, Elma Baker and Michael Buick, please hop up. Thank you.
Thanks, Nookie. Hey, yeah, a round of applause for Mark Taylor. Good effort. He's done some hard yards there to get this bale tidied up. So how did we go there, judges? Well, there you go. He was in the final last year, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky Stevens from Napier. We want 164. We want 160, and he did 164. That's pretty good going, folks. It's only 4 Ks. That's not easy to do. All right, let's get the second bale over. As I was saying, there's lots of points tied up and pressing in and around here on the way to the bale. Right, Mark Taylor's bale.
Could I just come in here, please? Crystal McGregor, Brooke Birch, Mark Taylor, Bianca Harware and Shanae Flutie. Could you report in, please, for the junior wool handling?
Thanks, Nookie. Hey, Mark Taylor's 169.5. A few too many Weet-Bix this morning, Mark. But time will tell, eh? Time will tell. Rightio, that will move us on to our second heat. Okay, can we have Stuart Walton getting organised here, please, on press 1. And we'll have Jimmy Samuels on press 2. And once again, you pressers must leave the press set up the same as it was when you arrived, and that will be judged. Okay, so be aware of that.
Gerald, we have the green light down here. Can we have our shearers to the board? Shearers to the board. This is heat number 7. Oh, don't make her run off the board. She's got a sore Achilles. Timekeepers are ready. Shearers, get set, go. Oh, okay, Mavis, down here on stand number 1 we have Emma Lewis. She is from Wales, mid-Wales. I think she's around where they have the Royal Welsh. I think she's somewhere around that area. And on table number 2 we have Willow Connell. She's from good old Pongaroa.
Elma Baker down here from Featherston. And another Pongaretian, Michael Buick. Great to see these families. You know, this is what this industry is about. It is about families. So whether it's mum and dad on the board and the young ones sort of learning the ropes as they go, but it's wonderful to see everyone, families really involved and engaged, supporting each other. And he seems to have things pretty well in hand here. He's able to identify really easily those short fibres from around the head, which actually are a processing fault. So, you know, there's a whole lot of hand-eye coordination, quick recognition, and this is what these wool handlers do every day, day in, day out. It's a great skill.
The junior wool handling report registration, if you haven't reported in, please report in now.
Yeah, you're dead right, Mavis. These young wool handlers, you know, they're only processing 1 fleece and yet there's 9 different baskets around the table. What a heck of a lot of work that these young wool handlers, you know, they need to come to grips with. And then there's also the teamwork, the working in a team environment as well. So these young wool handlers, it is a very skilled profession, this wool handling.
It is. In those 9 baskets, every single basket represents a different processing fault. So, it's not like they're just randomly putting wool in different baskets. Each basket represents a fault. Let's have a look at how these throws go. Not too bad.
Yeah, a little bit of bunching up the top here, but for the way that Emma's shaking, I thought she landed that fleece very, very well. Willow here on table number 2, a little bit overhanging. These fleeces, I think, are holding they're holding together quite well for these novices, Mavis.
Yeah, not too bad. And there is a bit of work landing these things. So, you can expect the more experienced wool handlers to land them pretty easily, but for these younger ones, it takes a bit of effort, a bit of thought, and a bit of planning. But they're working really well around the table. There just seems to be an air of confidence with these young ones that probably haven't really seen to this level before. It's great to see.
All right, thanks, Mavis. Hey, we'll just get heat 2 going down here. We're still on the single men's pressing. Okay, the single man's still looking for 160 kgs. So on the front press here, Stuart Walton from Masterton and Jimmy Samuels from Martin on press 2. So in that case, judges are ready. Sorry?
There's a bit of speed going on down here. Young Michael Buick certainly knows how to throw that broom around.
Shanae Flutie from Martinborough. If anybody sees her, can she report in now, please?
Times have been taken here.
Okay, Nikki, who's our next heat?
We're just going into waiting for the junior wool handling. That's the last of our novice wool handling. Toma?
Rightio, in that case we've got a bit of a gap. So this time the judges are ready. Press is ready. On your marks, get set, go. Right, we're underway. Pins, they've got to go in that bottom box. That would be, Kerry, that would be commonly known as a shout, isn't it? When you forget, well, if you press the pins or forgot to put the pins in, normally in the shed, that would be a shout of a few beers after work, wouldn't it?
A few beers and a couple quiet words too to himself. I tell you, you only do that once before you kick yourself in the buttocks again. But you haven't pressed many bales if you haven't pressed the pins or you haven't put the pins in, Gerald.
Yeah, you're right, mate. We've all done that, eh? We've learned from our mistakes, hopefully. Right, down here, look, we've got a local here, Stuart Walton. He has had a go here pressing before, but that's a couple of years ago. He's actually a full-time builder. So they're coming out of the woodwork for all the glitz and glamour of the Golden Shears.
Okay, I've just got to get this wool handling underway. We're into the junior wool handling. First heap, Tahana Phillips, Rural Woman sponsors. Tahana Phillips on table 1, Chrome Ellers on 2, Crystal McGregor on 3, and Amber Pohippi on 4. If you 4 could hop up there, please, that would be much appreciated. Set your buckets and your bins up. Over to you, Tuma.
Gerald.
Right, thanks, Tuma. Yeah, so look, front box here, all these different systems. Jimmy Samuels, top shearer, of course, as well, and he'll be in the triathlon, I'm presuming, here for him. Jimmy, in the triathlon? Jimmy's not listening. That's what you call zoning out. Okay, he also knows you don't get the ribbons and accolades from the Golden Shears by bringing your B game and having a yarn to the commentator. You've got to bring your A game here in the heats to make it through and hopefully do all the bright lights on Friday. We have the big finale for the men. So here we go. We've got the rake or the shake down here, the fadge to open all that up. And Kerry, Jimmy's just going to get that in place. Of course, you're talking about old presses. Once upon a time, there wasn't capless presses, was there? There was a different form of a separate cap and then a bale, I suppose you'd call it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I was around in those days. My era is the hydraulic presses, Gerald. That's more my scene. I'm a farmer these days, so when a farmer presses his own wool, it's 9 times out of 10 it's a hydraulic press, mate.
Yeah, that's right, Kerry. My day was actually, I'm sounding a wee bit old here, but anyway, when I used to hang around the sheds as a young kid, my father had the old Donald press, and that was two wee short bars on each side here, so it's like a two-man wind down, okay? So of course it become a race where you set a wee short bar here and a wee short bar there, and the box, instead of going up and round, went up and over. Okay, and you would whip that down. If you're a real strong young fella in the yesteryear, of course, back in the good old days where they're big, strong fellas, they would crank it themselves, one on each arm, and they would whack it down, and that was the old Donald press. And then I think it went to a reed and grey, didn't it? I'm stretching your age here,
Gerald, I'll just come in here. We've just got to get this wool handling, but Heat 2, if they can be ready, Suni Te Whare, Brooke Birch, Shyla Kraitiana and Linton Palmer. Could you report to the announcer's desk, please? Over to you, Toma.
Yeah, we're just waiting on our names up on the board. We have the green light, but just waiting for our names, and I know that we'll be good to go. Would like to thank our shearers. Thanks a lot, shearers. Paddy Mason and his team of shearers, they do a wonderful job for us. They're here every year, good shearers. They keep the fleece together. You know, it's quite hard to find a good shearer for wool sheep, and these guys do a good job.
All right, just while waiting those names to go up into the, both very similar for speed at this stage, basically 3/4 of the way through. I suppose I had the privilege of realising or watching Ricky Stevenson Heat 1 that Ricky was down to one click at a time with a foot to go. And both me and Kerry were thinking, I think he's put a bit much in that baby, but it was 164. So it is quite dense, this wool, obviously, and it does take a little bit of winding down.
Okay, yeah. So as soon as those buckets are gone, hop up, okay?
So the big, strong fellas, there is even safety aspects of them picking the wool up. Okay, good straight back and how much they pick up. That sometimes can go out the window when it comes to semi-final and final time when they get in there and they're hauling up half a bale at a time and chucking it in the press, and the press, one side of the bin is just about full with one big armful. And they knit it. These guys, you'll see Jimmy here sort of so-called knitting the wool together. They'll roll it up and over and crochet it so they can get a big, big armful. And it doesn't...
Kia ora, Valeria. First of all, introduce yourself to our online audience.
Hi, I'm Valeria, and I'm from the Netherlands, and I just joined the novice Golden Shear competition.
So this is your first time competing in New Zealand?
It's my first time competing ever.
Ever?
Ever.
How did that go for you?
I think it went.
It went?
It went. I did it.
You did it?
That's the main thing. I did it.
Oh,
yeah.
Well done. Do you do this work back home in the Netherlands?
No, I wouldn't even know if we have it. I don't think so.
You don't think you even have an industry, wool industry?
We have sheep.
You have sheep. Well, you
That's
must
all I
have.
know. That's all I know.
Well, Valeria, look, it's been great to have you join us just for a quick hello to everybody, but for our online viewers, we have a really strong contingent of internationals competing this year, and of course Valeria's one. It certainly makes Golden Shears a lot richer. But Valeria, do you have anything you want to say to your friends and family back in the Netherlands?
Oh, well, thanks for watching, I reckon. I know my mom was watching.
Oh.
She saw it. She said it was adorable.
Oh, very cool. So to Valeria's mum, kia ora from us in New Zealand. And to our online people, look, we want to bring you a lot more of these internationals, just very short, sharp. Valeria, welcome to New Zealand. Thank you for having a go, and look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yes, I hope so too.
Kia ora.
Bye-bye. Doo-doo.
The shearer pulls the cord after the third sheep. They have 1 minute and 30 seconds to tidy up, get all the bin in order, sweep under the table. Wow, these wool handlers, they are well-oiled machines. But here we go, shearers turn to the last side. Around the face of the sheep, ladies and gentlemen, there is a hollow fibre.